Show your love for the Galar region by rocking the brand new Powerpuff Starters design. Available in t-shirts, hoodies, and multiple different colors. Link is in the description. Who doesn't love a good old-fashioned evolution? It's one of the best parts of the Pokemon games when you see your cute and lovable partners turn into powerful badasses. This is especially the case when we get new evolutions of pre-existing Pokemon. It's awesome. Most of the time. Sadly, Pokemon just hasn't been doing that as much anymore. Instead, they want to give us all these flashy new Mega Evolutions, Z-moves, regional variants, and okay, that's cool and all, especially Megas. But I think we're overdue some new, regular evolutions. Isn't that right, Dan?
Hey LUMIOSE trainers, Pokédan here, and I couldn't agree more. One of the things that made Generations 2 and 4 so great were the addition of many new evolutions. Well, since Generation 8 is coming this year, what better time to talk about possible new evolutions than right now? That's why I'm here with Zach to share with you guys our top 10 new evolutions for Pokemon Sword and Shield. This list will consist of Pokemon that we think are the most deserving and most likely to get new evolutions in the Galar region, so we hope you enjoy.
Once you're done over here, be sure to check out the video we did on Dan's channel going over the top 3 most underrated Pokemon of each region. Now before we get started, I want to go over 2 quick honorable mentions, Farfetch'd and Dunsparce. We decided not to add them onto the list cause literally everyone and their mom has talked about how they should get an evolution, so instead of beating that dead horsey, we're gonna go over some other choices you might not have seen coming yet. So let's get started. Number 10. Maractus.
Generation 5 gave us a whole new Pokédex to complete and added the most Pokemon that any generation ever has. And with so many Pokemon being introduced, some were bound to get forgotten about. And as much as I like this Pokemon, Maractus is exactly that. A bit forgotten. This funky looking grass type looks like it could fit right at home in an evolution line with other cacti Pokemon like Cacnea and Cacturne. Like, maybe it would be Cacnea's cool uncle. You know, the one who brings you candy or a new video game when they visit. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, shockingly enough, these Pokemon share no relation. And seeing as Maractus could do with a bit more attention, maybe in Generation 8, Game Freak could give this Pokemon new life by adding a connection to these other Pokemon. Or if not this, just give the Pokemon a new evolution completely. Looking on the internet, there are plenty of potential ideas, like this evolution that Zach and I found. It looks exactly like an evolution Maractus would have. And maybe it could gain the poison type. I don't know the logic behind this retyping, but it just looks like it could gain poison.
Number 9. Kecleon. What made this Pokemon interesting back in Gen 3 was the fact that it can turn invisible. And also, oh yeah, that's it. To be honest, this Pokemon felt kinda gimmicky, with it just being used as the invisible roadblock of the Hoenn region, which is why I think it's pretty forgettable. I feel like the only reason people do recognize it is cause of Mystery Dungeon, but aside from that, Kecleon is pretty meh. That's why Dan and I believe it should get an evolution. Kecleon is a normal type that isn't even all that strong, so it at least needs to get a stronger evolution so it can be more viable. I mean, we're already getting a new chameleon Pokemon in Sobble, so why not show some love to the OG real chameleon as well? No, not Charmeleon, Kecleon, gosh. Number 8. Jinx.
Who remembers the Kanto trio of Electabuzz, Magmar, and Jinx? Well, in recent years, Jinx has found itself detached from this trio due to the others both gaining evolutions in Gen 4. Thinking about it now, it's really odd that Jinx didn't evolve further with Electabuzz and Magmar. Like, these Pokemon all gained pre-evolutions together in Gen 2, so it's a bit of a shame that Jinx was denied the same treatment when Gen 4 came around. I understand that whereas fans see these Pokemon as somewhat of a trio, it wasn't actually confirmed by Game Freak themselves, but at the same time, I can't help but feel a bit bad for Jinx. I know that not everyone likes this Pokemon, but personally, I think it's alright. It's had its fair share of controversy, but even then, it's moved on from that. With regards to Jinx evolving, its design feels like there's not much more that can be done. But looking at this fake mon of a Jinx evolution, I gotta say, I'm a fan. Jinx looks so much more elegant, and I am all for it.
Number 7. Hawlucha. I think it's safe to say that Hawlucha is a pretty cool Pokemon. It has a decent following and is a part of Ash's Karlos team. Hawlucha doesn't really need an evolution because I think it's pretty good on its own, but I wouldn't mind one either. It has a great offensive typing, but unfortunately, it also makes it vulnerable to a lot of weaknesses. And since there are so many fighting and flying types that can get stronger, Hawlucha kinda gets the bench for me most of the time. I'm sure if Hawlucha had an evolution when it was first introduced in X and Y, I would have used one by now. An evolution can give us a buffer Hawlucha that can take more hits. That would be cool. Plus, if Hawlucha did have a Galar region evolution, it means that we could possibly see Ash bring his back to make it evolve during a league or something. Now that would be awesome. Number 6. Chimecho.
The next Pokemon is another that's rather forgettable. I'm talking about Chimecho. In complete honesty, if it wasn't for the fact that James owned this Pokemon in the anime, I don't think I'd know much about Chimecho, or even care for it. In Generation 4, whilst evolutions and pre-evolutions were being thrown all around the place, this Pokemon somehow gained a pre-evolution. No hate on Chingling, but Chimecho itself looks like it could be that of a pre-evolution. When Zach and I were coming up with ideas for this video and chose Chimecho, we actually were quite surprised that this psychic type hasn't evolved further. In terms of design, there's a lot of potential for development, and evolving would just give it a bit more relevancy. This design for a Chimecho evolution looks quite fitting, and if you ask me, it could even become a ghost type. As much as I like this Pokemon, it really looks like it could do with an evolution.
Number 5. Kamala. Kamala's a Pokemon that desperately needs an evolution. Honestly, I thought it was gonna get one when Sun and Moon first came out, but it didn't. Excuse me, Game Freak, one question. Why? This Pokemon looks like it had so much potential, but it went nowhere. It was given a brand new ability called Comatose. That's pretty cool. Only problem is that, just like I said with Kecleon, it's a single stage normal type. Imagine if it evolved into a tougher, bulkier Pokemon. This is what I thought would happen. I can see a Kamala evolution being like the new Snorlax or something. Now that would be cool. How uses a Kamala in your final battle with him before the League in Sun and Moon? But for what? It would have been way more intimidating if it had a Kamala evolution instead. Number 4. Carnivine.
Taking the number 4 spot on this list is a Pokemon I just adore, and it is Carnivine. My love for this grass type mostly stems from the Pokemon anime, where it was an addition of James from Team Rocket's team. Carnivine, as much as I like it, is pretty forgettable. And although it doesn't look like much could be done to its design if it did evolve, an evolution would still be exactly what it needs to gain a bit of relevancy. Looking at this design we found online for a potential Carnivine evolution, I gotta say I like this thing. It looks really creepy, and I mean heck, give it the dark type too. That'd be pretty cool to see.
Number 3. Klefki. Alright, this is one that I'm really excited to talk about. Klefki is probably one of my favorite inanimate object Pokemon. It's mainly used for setups and such since it's not that much of a heavy hitter, but with a cool typing like Steel and Fairy, I feel like it deserves more. Now I can totally see a Klefki evolution happening in Sword and Shield because of how industrial the Galar region seems to be. It's the perfect place for us to get some cool new Steel types as well as Steel type evolutions. The perfect way to get a Klefki evolution is by introducing a brand new item. What I loved about Gen 4 was the fact that we got a bunch of new items that helped older Pokemon evolve. So for the Galar region, we could get, voila, the keychain. As silly as it sounds, it would literally be the perfect item to evolve Klefki. All it would need to do is hold it while trading and it will turn into its new Gen 8 evolution. It would be so awesome. Number 2. Cressola.
Diving in at the number 2 spot on this list, we have Cressola. In Pokemon Sun and Moon, Game Freak made this Pokemon a bit more relevant by introducing Mareanie and Toxapex as its predators. Now me, I love this cute coral rock, and although I like Mareanie too, I'd honestly like to see Cressola put up a bit more of a fight. Maybe if this Pokemon evolved, a backstory could be added that over time this Pokemon evolved to resist the poison attacks of its predators by gaining the Steel type, getting rid of it being part rock. This design perfectly portrays how we imagine Cresola's evolution would be. And like I said, it would just be a really cool addition to the story of how Mareanie and Toxapex hunt for Cressola. As well as this Pokemon doesn't quite look complete. So an evolution would also make sense in that regard.
Number 1. Eevee. I know, it's super obvious, but come on. Who wouldn't want to see a new evolution? It's honestly the most likely out of any Pokemon to receive an evolution because of the fact that it's always getting one in every even-numbered generation. Espeon and Umbreon in Gen 2, Glaceon and Leafeon in Gen 4, and even Gen 6 gave us one with Sylveon. So now that Gen 8 is coming, Eevee will definitely get at least one new evolution. The types that seem the most likely are a Steel or Dragon evolution. It totally makes sense, since the Galar region is based off the UK, and the UK is known for its tales of epic heroic knights slaying those dastardly dragons. I'm assuming. A Steel-type Eevee could easily represent the armored knights of yore, or even the whole industrialness of Galar. And Dragon could represent... you get the point. These typings also really make sense because it would fit perfectly with Sylveon. Ever since Gen 2, evolutions have been introduced in pairs with one typing being stronger than the other, almost like counterparts. Well, Sylveon never got that, so introducing a new evolution with a typing that could defeat or be countered by Sylveon would be the perfect fit for the Galar region. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to head over to Dan's channel to see the top 3 most underrated Pokemon of each region. Remember to spread some peace, love, and positivity, and we'll see you all next time.